Canadians of all walks of life are the best people in the world. And
That's a big statement to make.
No, it's real. It's not just because you're here.
Yeah.
Many years in the business, and Canadians, they have my heart. They're the best people.
You've met people from all over the world.
All over the world.
So you know what everybody's like around the world.
Yes. Like, say something's going bad or the weather or anything, you guys are always like chill. Like, excuse me. You're like, you just have my heart.
I'll tell you something I love about Canadians, their trust. When I first moved to Canada, I came during Thanksgiving. I met someone on the Monday. By the Friday, they were inviting me to their family's home to join them for Thanksgiving. That is insane. I was always appreciative of that and I never forgot it. For one, I remember when my Airbnb was running out and my neighbour said to me, you can come stay with me for a couple of days. Why not? I would say moving to Canada has been easy because you Canadians have made it easy. Your generosity, your kindness, your willingness to help people. That's what makes Canadians stand out against other people. Their overall willingness to help. Never change.
The best way I can describe it is that he's the softest yet the strongest man I've ever known. And growing up in Mexico, this was not a balance that I was used to. I do believe a lot of it comes from his Canadian values. Canadians are gentle but unshakably dependable and reliable. Something that stood out to me is how he communicates with strength, but never to hurt, humiliate, or to prove a point. The way he shows his strength is very quiet. He is firm, but he is always fair. If you have the opportunity to be with a Canadian, I recommend.
Canadian men, I love them. No. I love a Canadian man.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, because they're first of all, they're nice, they're respectful, they're always handsome. I don't think I've met as many ugly Canadian men as I've met ugly Australian men. Canadian men are just put together well.
My favorite thing about Canada after living abroad for the past 12 years is how self-aware Canadians are. What I mean by that is people here know they have it good. They know that this is a beautiful, gorgeous country, and of course there are issues, but compared to 99.9% of the world, there aren't many issues. We are taught here from a young age that we do live in a great country, and therefore it is our responsibility and duty to share that with the rest of the world and to be of service to the rest of the world and do good things. I have lived in the UK, I've lived in Denmark, and now I live in Germany. And I can safely say that I think a lot of Europeans are not as aware of their privilege the way that Canadians are. And that is something that I completely took for granted growing up here. And now I deeply miss it.
When I say Canadians are so fucking nice, this is exactly what I mean. Listen, Zach and I are at Cactus Club Cafe because, Canadian staple. You guys are telling us we have to go try it. It's been recommended by a lot of people. I got the Bellini, and I've had this is my third one, by the way. Apparently Drake loves this drink, and I see why. We're chilling here, enjoying our drinks, enjoying our food, having a great time. And then the table next to us starts talking to us. And then one of the girls sitting there was like, gagged. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, hi. This is Alexandra. She's sitting at the table, literally right there. We start chopping it up, whatever, having a great time. We finish. She's paying our bill.
On us.
I was like, what? My hand's shaking right now because that is like literally so fucking sweet. Like, I love Canada. And they're all here. They're all so nice. They're going to the Drake and the Future and Metro Boomin concert tonight.
Welcome to Canada.
I love you. She's got a boot on and she's going to be on the floor tonight too, so.
It's like right here.
This is amazing. I love this place and I love you.
I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoy your time here. Seriously.
Oh my God.
I just want to say Canadians are the best. I posted a couple videos about my time in Toronto. I was there for a couple days. I did a little vlog and then a post on a sushi I ordered. The number of people who have commented welcoming me to Canada and welcoming me to Toronto and giving me so many recommendations for my next visit, unreal. Whereas when people post about asking for recommendations in New York, usually the comments are,
go away, get out of here, or they'll send them to random sketchy ass places around the city. Us New Yorkers can learn a thing or two.
Hi guys.
I was just having this conversation with someone, but you know how we all have our biases in life? My bias is I love Canadian people. I've only been to Canada once, but I've always loved Canadians even before I ever went there. I don't think I've met many Canadian people, but still, if I had kids, I don't have them. But if I had kids and somebody was to tell me, would you rather give your kids away if you were to pass away to a Canadian or anyone else from anywhere else in the world? I would say the Canadian. I don't really know why. I think it's because of their policies and them being welcoming to immigrants. But Canada has a big place in my heart for no reason whatsoever. I'm not embarrassed to say it.
My name is Sunny. I'm Korean, but I've been seeing Trump bullying a lot of different countries, and I've seen you Canadians fight and sticking, like standing up for each other. I love that. And as a Korean, I'm sure you guys know, we went through similar things, right? All that impeachment stuff. So we're ready to fight for you, and we're ready to be there for you and to support you. So if you guys have a spot for me or us, we'll do it. Because you guys never asked, but I stopped using products from USA. Why? Because this is not right, and we want to support you. Did you guys ask us to support you guys? No, but I want to do it. I want to be there for you guys. I mean, if you guys allow me, I want to put Canadian flag right next to my username, but I'm not Canadian, so I'm not going that far. But if you are okay with that, I would love to do that, because why not? We need to show America or Trump that he is not the boss here. I really believe in that. Korean people believe that citizens are the owner of a country, not the president. And that is a fact. So, this is my application for you. I'll be supporting you guys, whether you guys want it or not. But if you guys want a Korean bestie who went through martial law and impeachment, we're here for you. And I have my own experience of all this and bullying and stuff. So, hey. Anyway, so I'm with you guys. I won't be using any products from USA till this gets over. I know this is very political and all that stuff, but I just personally don't like anyone bullying anybody. So, yeah.
Americans love Canadians, and I think there's 3 main reasons why. The first reason is that Canadians are safe. We don't really fall into that whole Republican-Democrat thing the way other Americans do. And so Americans are like, oh, no, they're okay. They're not people we hate. Next, I think Americans kind of admire the fact that Canadians put up with our weather, and there's not many of us. And so they just kind of think we're this cute little country sitting on top of them, just kind of hanging out. The third thing, I think Canadians just have a solid reputation. I think we go down there and we're polite, we are kind, we're open, and Canada in general just has a good reputation on the world stage in terms of peacekeeping and that kind of thing.
One of my favorite things to talk about is the Canadian stereotype about how people in Canada are so incredibly kind and generous and apologetic, right? And I don't think people truly understand what that means in practice, so I wanted to talk about that. I moved to Canada almost 11 years ago from Germany. I'm originally from France, but I was living in Germany at the time. And something that I haven't really talked about on here is the fact that once upon a time, I actually made the decision to leave Canada. So I had lived in Canada for about 5 or 6 years, and I actually felt like I didn't really belong. I felt like this didn't feel like my permanent home, and so I made the decision to move back to Europe. And so I actually moved back to Germany for a couple years, and eventually actually moved back to Canada. And one of the things that has stood out the most in that experience of choosing to leave and then choosing to come back is why I made that decision. What drew me back to Canada? Why do I feel comfortable here? Why do I feel at home? And it sounds cheesy to say, but it's really about the people. And this is the main difference with countries that I've lived in Europe, specifically Germany and France. If I'm in a supermarket, a store, the street, the metro, whatever public place I might be in, my nervous system is always in overdrive. And what I mean by that is I will never feel 100% comfortable going up to somebody and asking a question, or chit-chatting with the cashier, or just, I don't know, bumping into somebody on the street and apologizing. I will constantly be fearing that somebody overreacts or somebody meets me with like a rude greeting or an unpleasant interaction. And by the way, that fear may not always be valid, right? Like you may interact with somebody in Germany or France and like they're the kindest people ever, but that fear that you have is because you know that there's chances that you'll be met with perhaps not the most pleasant interaction, right? In Canada, what I realized is that fear doesn't exist. And that's not to say there aren't unkind people in this country, but that's to say that I don't have the fear to actually start an interaction or like greet somebody or ask a question, because I know that 99% of the time I'm going to be met with the most pleasant interaction ever, even with strangers, right? People I don't know. I think that's what makes Canada feel like home. I'm comfortable. My nervous system is calm. I'm not constantly fearing an unpleasant interaction. And that is specifically what people mean when they say that people are really kind and generous and pleasant. I think that's the best way I can explain it.
The affection many people have for Canada does not mean they consider it a perfect country. In fact, Canadians themselves are often willing to acknowledge that their country is facing a number of serious challenges. Rising housing costs, long wait times for medical appointments and treatment, and the pressure of the cost of living are common topics in everyday conversations. Yet even with these ongoing difficulties, Canada continues to have a very positive image within the international community. What impresses many people is not only the country's major policies or achievements, but also the way Canadians tend to treat one another. This includes respect for different cultures, a willingness to help others when they are going through difficult times, and the belief that disagreement does not have to turn every conversation into a heated argument. Recently, as political tensions have brought Canada greater international attention, many people have observed that Canadians have chosen to respond with calmness and confidence rather than anger or confrontation. That approach has earned Canada even more respect from those following the situation. Many people also simply admire Canada for its breathtaking natural landscapes, multicultural cities, high level of safety, and the welcoming atmosphere the country is known for. For millions of people around the world, Canada represents hope, stability, and kindness in a world that can sometimes feel uncertain and chaotic. That is also why so many continue to feel a special connection to the country, celebrate Canada's successes, and proudly say that they stand with the nation of the maple leaf. No country is without flaws, but genuine respect is usually earned through actions, not words alone. Canada's positive reputation was not built on a single event. It is developed through countless small moments in everyday life, experiences that may seem ordinary but leave a lasting impression on visitors and people observing the country from abroad. Perhaps that is why, whenever people are asked which country they would like to visit, live in, or support, Canada is often one of the first names mentioned. If you have ever visited Canada or had the opportunity to meet Canadians, I would love to hear about your stories and experiences in the comments. Do you believe Canada truly deserves the positive reputation it has today? Or is the rest of the world recognizing something that some people have yet to see? Please share your thoughts and let's continue the conversation in the comments below. If you found this video interesting and would like to see more content like this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for taking the time to watch the video until the end. I am truly grateful for and deeply appreciative of every bit of support you have shown this channel. I'll see you again in the next video, so please continue to follow along and stay tuned.